Я очень рад наконец-то поучаствовать. Было событие мое же. Отлично.
Гордо бился в 100 раз больше, чем мечтал, когда был малым. Битва за хит-парады. Я оставил эту суету малым. Мне важно, с кем был наверху, важнее, кто с тобой был, когда ты падал вниз. И это правда жизни. Там новая звезда, вспышка на сезон. У меня тут суета, что кратко вышел из СИЗО. А Бог светет как надо эти темы. Лучший режиссер за эпизодом эпизод. Такое останемся братьями.
Museum, and it's all brought to you by Manny Pacquiao's Blow by Blow in cooperation with the Philippine Sports Commission and the International Boxing Association, IBA Pro. This next contest scheduled for 8 rounds, and it's for the IBA Pro Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship. Judges scoring this bout at ringside on a 10-point must system. Noel Haduka, Eduardo Nobleza, and Daniel Lopez. And when the bell rings, your third man in the ring, referee Sammy Bernabe. Okay, fight fans, let's meet the fighters. Firstly, fighting out of the blue corner to my right, tonight wearing the black with gold. He weighed in at 232 pounds. Fight record, 16 wins, 6 losses, 9 wins by knockout. He hails from Gauteng, South Africa. Please welcome Chris Thompson. And his opponent fighting out of the red corner to my left, tonight wearing the white with gold. He weighed in at 227.3 pounds. Fight record, 11 wins, 1 loss, 7 wins by knockout. He comes to you via Rostov-na-Donu, Russia. Please welcome Georgie Yunovidov. Once again, 8 rounds for the IBA Pro Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship. Here's Sammy Benabri with the final instructions.
Okay, gentlemen. Obey my command at all times. Protect yourself at all times. Okay, this is 8 rounds for IBA Championship. Okay, good luck. Touch luck. God bless.
We're all set for this matchup here. 8 rounds in the heavyweight division.
And did you notice Sammy Bernabe's height? You know, compared to, Yunovidov's height and Thompson's height. It reminds you of how Carlos Sonny Padilla was during the Thrilla in Manila. He was a third man in the ring. And he was there inside that ring with Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier. Thompson is a southpaw, leading up with that right hand. Now they've had one common opponent. Thompson lost a decision to Yevgeny Romanov, and Romanov was actually the last opponent of Yunovidov, and he knocked him out in the 5th round.
Well, as Andy was talking about, all these heavyweights have got that knockout punching power.
Oh yeah, 9 knockouts and 16 wins for Thompson, 7 knockouts and 11 wins for Yunovidov.
He is quite highly rated, Yunovidov. He signed with the Tetons, who was a promotional powerhouse in Russia. It was the Russian Copper Company, so he's based out of Ekaterinburg most of the time. And that defeat came in his fight for the Russian title. That wasn't really supposed to happen. He was the home fighter there, and the idea was that he'd win that fight, but he was in with a fellow undefeated fighter and got knocked out in the 4th round, which is very much an occupational hazard as a heavyweight. So it's been a little bit of a rebuild for him since then, but there's been quite a lot invested in him.
And for Thompson, he's a road warrior. He's had 5 fights outside South Africa. He lost 4 of those 5 fights on hostile territory, and now he's in the Philippines. He's fought in Tanzania, he's fought in Russia, where he lost. He's fought in Uzbekistan, and he's fought in Birmingham, UK.
I saw that fight in Birmingham against Solomon Dakers. He's a decent heavyweight, not a particularly big heavyweight, not a particularly big puncher, and he went the 10 rounds there, boxing out of the away corner. So he's mixed it up a bit during his career. He's boxed out the home corner in South Africa and then hit the road. But he's made a good start here, hasn't he?
He's standing his ground against Yunovidov.
Final 30 seconds here of our very first round. We are scheduled for 8.
Throwing some power punches is Thompson. Nice right uppercut from Yunovidov. What you like about Yunovidov is that he leads off with either his left or his right. And he's catching Thompson off guard. Thompson's not able to anticipate which is going to be the lead hand for him to counter off of.
I think he put quite a lot into that first round there, Thompson. It was Yunovidov, and I don't think...
Power punch of the round is brought to you by the Philippine Sports Commission.
And you also notice that right after that first round, Thompson was breathing heavily. I don't know whether he's going to last 8 rounds. And Yunovidov wasn't throwing power punches. He was leading off with his lefts and his rights. I think he's being very patient. He's probably going to wait for Thompson to wear himself out with those power punches. Let's see what happens here in round number 2. Good defense here by Yunovidov as he holds both of his arms up high. Thompson might want to attack the body a little bit more with that high guard of Yunovidov.
You're right, that's where you want to go with him, isn't it? Because the way he holds those gloves, the elbows far away from the body, and the body's on offer pretty much all of the time. He found it quite a lot in that first round. Yunovidov just trying to get on top of him, get up close here, and work away on the inside.
Watch your head.
Some body shots coming from Thompson. Thompson likes to fight from the inside, but that uppercut is connecting for Yunovidov.
Yunovidov just clubbing around the side of the head with the right hand. What's interesting about this is that it's Yunovidov who's brought it here, isn't it, in this second round? He's the one who's decided he's going to step on Thompson, try and crowd him a bit, don't give him too much room, get on top of him like he is there, push up with the forearm a bit, rough him up. And you see that front foot there, he's just creeping in, taking that space. Wants to end up on the shoulder. This is obviously how he feels. He can get the better of things. He doesn't want to keep it too long.
So far, it's power versus power. It's a slugfest right here. It's toe-to-toe fighting.
Stop.
Forget about distance, forget about jabs. These guys are going at it. They want to take each other out, that's for sure. Although short
Okay, hold it. No
punches
pass.
coming from
Hold it back.
both fighters have to hurt. Thompson getting a little bit of separation.
It suits him more, doesn't it, when it's like that? He's just got a little bit more room. He can get those levers a bit freer, go down to the body, look for that uppercut up the centre. But Yunovidov is, again, just right on him here, trying to get onto his shoulder and really sap his energy. That's where Thompson wants it, right there, that kind of middle range.
He needs to take a step back just to get that distance to throw his punches.
Watch on the inside. Stop.
He's connecting rather consistently, Thompson.
Listen.
Actually, a good round for Thompson.
Especially in that last exchange, you could see there Thompson getting the better of
His face, but I think Yunovidov he's going to be able to turn this his way sooner
rather than later. Chases Around is brought to you by the International Boxing Association.
You like the way Thompson has been digging
Seconds out.
into
Seconds
inside
out.
the body of Yunovidov.
Obvious. Okay, third round.
There's been a lot thrown, hasn't there?
Go ahead.
There's been a lot thrown in those first couple of rounds. So this is a hard fight to be in. It's got tough pretty quick. Both in great shape.
Thompson doubling up on that right jab. Always coming out of the southpaw stance. Seems to be giving Yunovidov a little bit of trouble. Yunovidov, however, now closing the distance between the two, shortening the gap. But here's Thompson continuing to assault the side of the body of Yunovidov. See that uppercut once more.
Once ahead.
Coming from position.
Okay? Left ahead.
I can't help but notice that Yunovidov looks like he's dwarfed by these two giants in the ring.
Well, as we mentioned, this is the heavyweight division.
And you're talking about the heavyweight division. When this Thrilla in Manila anniversary was being planned, Senator Manny Pacquiao said you can't have Thrilla in Manila Roman anniversary without a heavyweight contest. I mean, Ali and British were heavyweights. So he gave marching orders to FP Promotions. Hey, Sean Gibbons, get me two heavyweights. And here they are.
And it's a good fight, like the first fight. It's a good fight. It's well matched. And Yunovidov again in this round, he's really just looking to get on Thompson and just try and break his will a bit here. That's what's going on here. And that's what makes it so good to watch, because Thompson won't have it. He's digging those toes in. He's letting his hands go. He's having to work hard here. He's putting a lot into these punches. I don't know how much longer he can keep this up for, to be honest.
They're taking a toll of Thompson. Stop.
Thompson breathing hard. His mouth is open.
He was breathing hard right out of the first round. What seems to favor Thompson is that there's not too much leg movement either way. So he's not expending energy moving around. He's comfortable just fighting straight up, head-to-head against his opponent. He needs a little bit of that distance to be able to throw his shots. And here's, Thompson is being very patient against his opponent.
That's a good uppercut on the inside there, Yunovidov. You see Thompson now sets his feet up to try and finish him out. Strong ends. There's a good account of himself again in that round, but Yunovidov looks like he's got a lot more left in the tank.
Round 4 coming up in a bit. Crap. Yunovidov up against Thompson.
Neither fighter has been hurt so far. They've been trading some power shots. More power actually coming from the punches of Thompson than Yunovidov. But maybe it's time for Yunovidov to step on the gas and start showing what he can do.
I think he will have to try and turn the screw a bit this round, Yunovidov. Because more power has been coming from Thompson at times, but also a lot more effort.
Thompson, certainly the busier fighter, throwing a lot of punches and keeping a safe distance away from Yunovidov.
That was a good combination from Yunovidov. Nice 1-2 upstairs. That's good defensively from Thompson, just catching that jab and going down to the body.
Yunovidov is actually more big punch coming from Yunovidov.
came back with 2 or 3, but he is turning the screw here, Yunovidov, in this round, definitely.
Well, this is the best round, definitely, of the 4. That's a nice right, though, by Thompson. Big right hand coming from Thompson.
Yunovidov is a lot more effective if he's showing a variety of punches. If he's going back to the traditional amateur continental style of jab straight combinations straight up, those punches are being blocked by Thompson. But if he's throwing hooks and if he's throwing his uppercuts, then he's a lot more effective, as he did just then when he threw that right uppercut. That's when he can catch Thompson.
The slightly distressing thing for Thompson as well is that up until this point, the bodywork that he's been landing hasn't really shown any sign of taking too much control on Yunovidov. Now that can quickly change, but we're nearly at the halfway point now, and he's done well in the first half of the fight here, Thompson, but I fear for him in the second half of it. Honestly, he's shown his plenty of courage here already, but this is going to get rough for him in the second 4 rounds.
As we enter round number 5.
Thompson has actually made a good account of himself. Yunovidov came into this fight as a heavy favorite, considering he's lost only once. Thompson has lost 6 times.
Right hand there from Thompson really stepped into that one. At the halfway stage, the way it's poised is interesting because in terms of the scoring, he could be ahead here, Thompson. He could be ahead, and Yunovidov has got it to do in the second half in terms of clicking through the gears. I mean, you do feel that he's capable of doing it, but he does have to do it.
Well, personally, I do agree with you. I think Thompson is ahead here.
Uppercut on the inside. The right hand to the body comes back as well.
Well, nice change of levels from both these gentlemen.
I thought at this stage, Thompson would have run out of gas, but he's still in there fighting, slugging it out. With Yunovidov. And he's excelled. Not only from a distance, but he's also doing well in the infighting.
No, credit to him. Credit to him. He's showing us a lot here. There's some blood coming out of his mouth, I think. And Thompson, as he just leans over the shoulder there of Yunovidov. It's been another bruising encounter. It's a bit like the first fight we saw, but when it's heavyweights whacking each other at 225 plus, the pair of them, you can feel these, you can hear them, can't you?
Well, for you, Yunovidov, this is his first fight outside of Russia. For Thompson, as we said earlier, he's a road warrior. He doesn't care where he fights. He's in there to try to fight. But what's clear here is that Thompson is roughhousing. He's bullying Yunovidov. I'm not sure if Yunovidov is used to this style. Look at Thompson, the way he's roughhousing and bullying and throwing a lot of weight on Yunovidov.
That was terrific from Thompson. Combination, and then just rolled away to his right hand side underneath the left hand, and he's finished that round really strong, and he started the second half of the fight well there. I wonder if Yunovidov, I don't think he's been complacent here necessarily, but I think he got the feeling early on that Thompson wouldn't be able to keep this up, and Thompson is keeping it up, and when that happens to you, you can find yourself in a tight spot, and he's in one here, I think.
Exchange of the round brought to you by the International Boxing Association. And Thompson has also been the more active of the two.
I don't know if Yunovidov underestimated Thompson, because Thompson has certainly outdone himself so far. Well, this fight is far from over, by the way. But Thompson has impressed, considering his record, and also considering Yunovidov's excellent record.
He needs to win these rounds, Yunovidov. He's got to keep the tempo high here and really take it to Thompson. It's not going to be easy, this, not at all, but he's got to grind this out.
No holding. Stay back.
Well, he's starting out a little bit more active, talking about Georgie.
We saw in the first round, and we did comment that Yunovidov was leading off with a right or left. He was doing a good job of it because he was catching Thompson flat-footed either way. But then things started to change somehow. Thompson got his distance, got his confidence, and started to attack the body of Yunovidov with authority. What you'd like to see more of from Yunovidov is that uppercut. That right uppercut has been money for Yunovidov.
This is grueling stuff. It really is. It goes down to a knee there, Yunovidov. The referee's saying that Thompson pushed him down, so he hasn't given the knockdown.
Okay, time out.
They're just waiting to try and see if the other one's going to give any ground and come apart a bit. And there's no real sign of that. Just before he went down to the canvas there, Yunovidov, Thompson just shrugged him off and then just let his hands go. This is what we've seen throughout the fight. Just Yunovidov might be just getting an angle on him, getting on top of him when he comes back.
I thought there might have been a low blow on that occasion. Thompson might have been action moving on. And Thompson is so intense, so aggressive in this fight that he's trying his own version of an uppercut.
There's some loose tape once again there, this time on the right hand of Yunovidov, but the referee lets it go.
Solid right hand from Thompson. He's just setting his feet and put everything into these punches. And I didn't think he'd be able to sustain this. I'll be honest, halfway I thought the second half of the fight would be Yunovidov. Thompson is just giving us a big performance here.
He's definitely holding his own.
You can hear the grunt of Thompson every time he throws a punch. And I tell you, there's a lot of power behind every punch that he throws. But this guy, Yunovidov, he's durable. He can take a lot of those shots. Those are power shots that land on the side of his body. But Yunovidov hasn't been hurt at all. I think in this fight so far. You know, Thompson is nicknamed the Wolf. And you know, he's earning that nickname. That's for sure. He's hunting down Yunovidov like a wolf. And he's howling like a wolf. Coming from Yunovidov, just as I said that. And the round is ended.
And crunch.
Left jabs coming from Yunovidov. That's not going to be enough to back off Chris Thompson.
He's a man on a mission tonight, Chris Thompson. He started quick, he started well. We asked the question, or rather I did, right at the start of the first round as to whether he'd been able to keep this up, and he has been able to keep it up. And again there, he's just set his feet, finishes a combination of right hand to the body. He slammed that in a number of times. I don't think Yunovidov has just been able to take it. It's to his credit, but he just landed it repeatedly.
Thompson is looking fresher than ever.
He's giving as much as he's taking. Grunting is intimidating Yunovidov. He needs a clear target for his shots. He needs to hurt Thompson right here, right now. This is round number 7. This fight is slipping
body from Yunovidov, but Thompson comes straight back, and he absolutely has to win these last couple of rounds. And I wouldn't say that he's been waiting for Thompson to cooperate exactly, but I don't think he's forced the issue enough. He hasn't been first enough. He hasn't thrown enough volume. And the reason is he's been in with somebody who's fighting a really, really good fight here in Thompson. But I just get the feeling that Yunovidov maybe assumes that his opponent was going to unravel and wilt a bit, and it just hasn't happened.
It could be that Yunovidov is not used to the kind of rough housing Thompson is showing. The amateur division, they don't rough house. They like to box, and maybe Yunovidov is not used to this kind of bullying. But look at Thompson, the way he's attacking Yunovidov.
Watch your head.
He's like a bull inside that ring. Listen to him grunt like a wolf.
Little flurry there.
Elbow. Okay, step back.
Chris.
He's howling like a wolf.
He's outworked Yunovidov right from the very first round.
Nice little flurry there. Just to try to get the nod of the judges here in this round.
Punch.
Round is brought to you by the Philippines Sports Commission.
Reverse attack, but look at Thompson. He continues to grunt and grind.
That right hand to the body landing a couple of times at the start of the round again.
Time out.
As Shannon Stridham sent him out for the final rounds, Thompson just taking him back now to trim a bit of tape, I think, off the wrist of that glove. As the trainer sent him out, he said everything he throws, you match. And that's basically what he's done all fight, isn't it? He set a good tempo, Thompson, but in those pockets, in those spells where it looked like Yunovidov was about to get on top, he
Back of Thompson. There he goes.
There's another flurry here.
That is Thompson. Of Thompson. He's very intimidating, if I might say.
And we've been talking a lot the last couple of days, thinking about the Thrilla in Manila, about heart and desire and strength of will and just the refusal to break. That's what we've seen here from Thompson. It's been a really, really good performance from him. But halfway, I question whether he could keep this up. I was totally wrong.
Considering that Thompson, when he fought
No punching.
2023 Uzbekistan, he lost on a first round knockout. So I thought he was going to go very early and very easily. But like you, Andy, I'm quite surprised by his performance.
But he's proving his durability right here tonight.
He stood up here to Yunovidov.
Early stoppages is a heavyweight or an occupational hazard, aren't they? There's something that can happen, and against back at edge, along some of them seen a lot in the amateurs and the pro. It's something that can happen. Right hand came in there from Yunovidov as Thompson was walking forward, and he looked slightly unsteady for a second. A bit of damage to his left eye.
Huge welt under his left eye. But he just scored a big left hand that rocked Yunovidov back on his heels. And Thompson just continues to plot his way through that defense of Yunovidov.
Final 20 seconds. And he's giving it his all.
He's just overpowering Yunovidov.
And he's just punching himself to an absolute standstill here, Thompson, as the bell approaches. This has been a grueling heavyweight fight. 8 rounds there, where an incredible amount of leather was thrown between the pair of them. It was great to watch again, and they celebrate the
For Yunovidov,
accomplished. Well, that'll be mine. Could get this, and winning away from home is is a hard thing to do, as we know.
Yes, it is. Let's find out in a bit.
But won't matter to him. He held his own.
Referee Bernabé was the top of the situation there, as we have Manny Pacquiao.
Unusual for us to see heavyweights here in Manila. That was definitely enjoyable. How about a round of applause for two guys giving us a real treat here in Manila. Giving it their all. Thank you, guys. All right, after 8 rounds of boxing, the heavyweight division, we go to the scorecards. Judge Edward Nobleza sees the bout 78-74. Noel Haduka sees the bout 77-75. And Danilo Lopez sees the bout 78-74. All by the winner, all for the winner by unanimous decision. And now the IBA Pro Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion from South Africa, Chris Thompson.
No doubt about that decision. Clearly unanimous.
He got what he deserved there because all 3 judges went his way. 2 by scores of 6 rounds. The 2 the other one had it slightly tighter at 5-3, but that was a terrific performance, a fantastic performance. And Yunovidov, the odds are stacked against, so we all wanted it badly. And who knows what this might lead to for him.
Well deserved in this victory by Chris Thompson. And he never backed off. No.
But he looks a little shell-shocked right now.
But you know, so pushing his weight on. I thought Thompson had his number from, I would expect, his wife.
Kiss. Title fight.